welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So opens the first verse of the first chapter of the first book of the Holy Bible. These first introductory words to all we understand of worship of the one true God are worthy of Him. That is all that is here recorded concerning the original creation. Nothing is said which enables us to fix the date at which His creation process began. Nothing is revealed concerning the appearance or inhabitants who may have peopled any part of it. Nothing is told us about the manner of working of creation's divine architect. From this passage alone, we have no basis to conclude whether the primitive heaven and earth were created a few thousand or many millions of years ago. We are not informed as to whether the things created were called into existence in a moment of time, or whether the process of their formation covered an interval of long ages. We have only the bare fact, in the beginning God created, and nothing is added to gratify the curious. The opening sentence of the Bible is not properly a subject for a philosophical discussion. It is presented as a statement of truth to be received with unquestioning faith. This first sentence of the Bible doesn't make any attempt to prove the existence of God. He is simply described as a creating force, as if no other explanation were needed of His right and power to be that. And yet, there is enough given us in this one brief sentence to expose every fallacy which has been invented concerning the deity. This opening sentence of the Bible repudiates atheism, for it postulates the existence of God. It refutes materialism, for it distinguishes between God and His material creation. It abolishes pantheism, for it points to Him as a personal God. In the beginning, God created. Tells us that He was Himself before the beginning, and so is eternal. In the beginning, God created, and that informs us He is a personal being, for an abstraction and impersonal first cause could not create. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and that argues He is infinite and omnipotent, for no finite being possesses the power to create, and none but an omnipotent being could create the heaven and the earth. In the beginning, God. This is the foundation truth of all real theology. God is a great originator and initiator. The basic error of all human efforts to describe a God from human reasoning and imaginations is ignoring this fundamental truth. False systems of theology and philosophy begin with man and seek to work up to God. But this is a turning of things upside down. The Bible works the other way around, beginning with God as the first cause, and then descending through various explanations to the existence and purpose of man. And that is how He would have us approach our efforts to understanding the meaning of our being. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. It is easy to conclude that these objects were a reflection of the beauty, talent, and power of the Creator. Much has happened to change the physical description of the earth since that long-ago event, and yet there is so much that is fair and majestic about it. What remains as to delight the most jaded spirit, to fill the most brilliant scientist with awe and marvel at the diversity and precision of creation. The ancient story is not meant to be a scientific exposition, nor even a definitive historical record. It is a message from the God who made us, furnishing enough information for us to have an anchor for our faith. And so we believers find our lives wonderfully enriched by the marvels and beauties of this world in which the hand of providence has placed us. We can stand outdoors on a winter night and feel insignificant and entertained by watching the dancing, shimmering aurora borealis. We can watch the endless roll of the ocean waves as they sparkle and dance in the moonlight, reflected in their millions of glittering surfaces, and sing how great they are. We can review the double helix of DNA and marvel at the mighty intellect that created such a means of propagating life. In all, we can worship the God who created us.
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.